Try it right now. Go ahead, try to tickle yourself. Under your arm, on the sole of your foot, the back of your neck. Nothing, right? Maybe a slight sensation, but not that uncontrollable, laughter-inducing squirm you get when someone else does it. This isn't a failure of technique. It's a fundamental feature of your brain's operating system, specifically a small but powerful region at the back of your skull, the cerebellum. For a long time, we thought the cerebellum was just for balance and coordinating movement, like a biological gyroscope. But it's also a master of prediction. It constantly tells the rest of your brain, I'm about to do this, so expect this feeling. This prediction is the key. When your cerebellum signals that your own hand is about to move towards your own side, it also sends a memo to your sensory cortex, the part of your brain that processes touch. This memo essentially says, stand down. This upcoming sensation is from us. It's not important. The result is called sensory attenuation. Your brain actively dampens or turns down the volume on the sensations you generate yourself. It's why the pressure of your own body on a chair fades from your awareness, and why you don't constantly feel your clothes on your skin. It's an incredibly efficient filtering system to prevent your brain from being overwhelmed by its own actions. Neuroscientists call this predictive process a forward model. Before you even move a muscle, your brain runs a simulation. It computes the motor commands needed to perform an action, like reaching for a glass of water, and simultaneously simulates the expected sensory feedback. What will my arm feel like as it extends? What will the cool, smooth glass feel like? This simulation is a copy of the motor command, known as an efference copy. This copy is sent not to your muscles, but to sensory regions of the brain to prepare them for what's coming. It's a prediction of the future, your own immediate future, calculated in milliseconds. When someone else tickles you, there is no forward model. There's no efference copy. The sensation arrives at your sensory cortex completely unannounced, a total surprise. Your brain, detecting a significant mismatch between predicted sensation, which was 0, and actual sensation, which is very high, flags it as important. This mismatch is crucial. It's an error signal that shouts, "Pay attention. This is external, unpredictable, and potentially a threat, even if that threat is just a feather." The tickle response itself might be a vestigial defense mechanism, training us from a young age to protect vulnerable areas of our body. So, if the key is the perfect timing between the command to move and the feeling of touch, what happens if you introduce a delay? Researchers at University College London did exactly this. They built a machine where a subject would move a joystick, which in turn controlled a robotic arm with a piece of foam on the end. The foam would then stroke the subject's own palm. When there was no delay, the subjects reported it wasn't ticklish at all. Their brain's forward model was working perfectly. But then the scientists started adding delays. Even a delay of just 1/5 of a second, 200 milliseconds, was enough. With that tiny lag between their joystick movement and the robotic touch, the sensation started to become ticklish. At a delay of half a second, subjects rated the sensation as just as ticklish as if it were being done by another person. The delay was long enough to break the brain's prediction. The efference copy arrived at the sensory cortex, made its prediction, and then nothing happened. When the touch finally did arrive, it was now a surprise. It was a mismatch. The brain was effectively tricked into thinking the touch was external. You can, in fact, tickle yourself. You just need a time machine, even one that only travels a few hundred milliseconds into the future. This brings us to a profound and telling exception. There is a group of people who can sometimes tickle themselves without any special machines. Individuals experiencing certain symptoms of schizophrenia, particularly passivity experiences or thought insertion. These are conditions where the person feels their own thoughts or actions are not generated by themselves, but are being controlled by an outside force. Neuroimaging studies suggest this may be linked to a breakdown in that same forward model. Their brain fails to generate a proper efference copy, or the sensory cortex fails to process it correctly. The result is that their own actions feel alien and unpredictable. Their own touch feels like the touch of another, and therefore, they can tickle themselves. The inability to tickle yourself isn't just a biological quirk. It's a constant background confirmation of your own agency. Every moment of every day, your brain is flawlessly executing this predictive process, seamlessly weaving your intentions, actions, and sensations into a unified sense of self. It's the silent mechanism that allows you to interact with the world without being constantly startled by the feeling of your own feet on the ground or your own tongue moving in your mouth. This system draws a fundamental line between me and not me. So the next time you fail to tickle yourself, don't be disappointed. It's simply the ghost in your machine reminding you, with absolute certainty, that it is you and you are in control. Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.